Receive by Dr. Keith J. Lopez. Read by Dr. Keith J. Lopez. Receive the Joy Master Key. The key to happiness or misery. Your choice. Part 2. The short and sweet version. Dedicated to you and your dreams. The following 3 words I am about to share with you will not just change your life. They have created every single detail in your life. These 3 words have shaped your entire life. This entire book and life itself can be summed up in 3 words. Even though this book will consist of thousands of words, 17 letters not only can change your life, these 17 letters made your life. In fact, this book can be summed up in 7 letters. Life itself can be summed up in 7 letters, 1 word. You should not read this book if you would like a great life. Memorize it. Every word. The 17 letters, the 3 words that make you or break you, are as follows. Receive and believe. Believe it and you will see it. Many have this saying backwards, yet a great man who wrote many great books has one quote that can justify this noble truth, that you must believe it first and then you will see it. Don't believe what your eyes are telling you. All they show you is limitation. Look with your understanding. Find out what you already know, and you will see the way to fly. Richard Bach, Jonathan Livingston Seagull. The one word that is so powerful, the 7 letters that create your reality, are as follows. Believe. The 7 letters and 1 word that you are made of and are born from are what the title of this book is best suited to be. Yet most think of receiving first, just like we receive our mother's love before we are even born. There is one thing every successful person believes, and it is the one secret as to why they are successful. This has been written for not hundreds of years, not even thousands of years. This was written before writing itself was established, and the story is still told over and over again. This is the master key to unlock your mind and potential. You may open the door to every opportunity you can think of with this key. Every single person of success knows this, and not one person on this earth is exempt from this rule. There is no exemption to this rule. This is an immutable law, and it is unavoidable. This is the master key not only to success, it is the key to failure also. Yes, this is the master key not only to success, it is the key to failure also. The secret that every rich person knows, that every philosopher knows, that every lover of knowledge knows, that each and every person who fills our history books knows. I love the definition of success that a wise man taught me. He received the first gold record for the spoken word when he released The Strangest Little Secret. I have listened to this secret hundreds of times, and I will listen to and read it again thousands of times more. I have quoted him many times and finally heard what he said and realized that I misquoted him. I was repeating the word goal when he said the word ideal. Success is the accomplishment of a worthy ideal. Earl Nightingale. I was reinforced by what I learned from a billionaire, Grant Cardone, that it is of utmost importance to look up the definitions of words consistently. So I looked up the word ideal, and it is very magical and holds massive power like all words do. Ideal means to satisfy one's conception of what is perfect. It also means existing only in the imagination. Another amazing man, Neville Goddard, taught me that imagination is God in us. Ideal also means perfect, but not likely to become reality. And that is the thing. Many people, including yourself, may doubt your ideal. And this doubt and resistance is a great sign that you are on the right path, as mentioned by Stephen Pressfield in The Art of War. To press on when you feel that resistance and make your dreams reality is part of the key. It was written, ask and you shall receive. And the and is a significant part of that holy sentence. It is imperative that you embrace the and period of time to become what you think about. It will not happen instantly except in your mind. It is up to you to be consistent with your faith and prayers for your ideal, to turn your sweet hour of prayer into ceaseless prayer. You may start with affirming your truth when you wake and before you sleep. Then add into your life affirmations throughout the day until you fill your mind with this affirmation, until it becomes a reality. Act as though it were impossible to fail, said Dorothea Brand from the book Wake Up and Live. The one thing that every great person who has risen above the limitations of others perceive agrees upon wholeheartedly is this master key to greatness. Look in your history books, in all the scriptures, in the best-selling book ever written, and you will find this master key. Inspect as many people as you can around you, and you will find this is true, whether they are successful or suffering in pain, poor and cursing their days, or praising in glory. The word spelling is very significant, and so is the word curse. We cast spells on ourselves and others with every word, hence why it is called spelling, because we put a spell on ourselves. Spell means a form of words or a magical incantation. Curse is to invoke a supernatural power or inflict direct harm, yet many are okay using and commonly use curse words. We always have a choice. What do you choose? The prophets and great wise people of the world disagreed on many things except this one thing, which they all have complete and unanimous agreement upon. We become what we think about. Rid your problems with this master key. A great Roman emperor named Marcus Aurelius said, a man's life is what his thoughts make of it. Benjamin Disraeli said, everything comes if a man will only wait. I brought myself by long meditations to the conviction that a human being with a settled purpose must accomplish it, and that nothing can resist a will that will stake even existence for its fulfillment. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, a man is what he thinks about all day long. William James said, the greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. We need only in cold blood act as if the thing in question were real, and it will become infallibly real by growing in such a connection with our life that it will become real. It will become so knit with habit and emotion that our interest in it will be those which characterize belief. If you only care enough for a result, you will almost certainly attain it. If you wish to be rich, you will be rich. If you wish to be learned, you will be learned. If you wish to be good, you will be good. Only you must then really wish these things and wish them exclusively, and not wish at the same time 100 other incompatible things just as strongly. Mark 9:23. If thou tends to believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. Dr. Norman Vincent Peale said, this is one of the greatest laws in the universe. Fervently do I wish I discovered it as a very young man. It dawned upon me much later in life, and I found it to be one of the greatest, if not my greatest discovery outside of my relationship to God. The great law briefly and simply stated, if you think in negative terms, you will get negative results. If you think in positive terms, you will achieve positive results. That is the simple fact which is at the basis of an astonishing law of prosperity and success. In 3 words, believe and succeed. Shakespeare said, our doubts are traitors and make us lose the good we often might win by fearing to attempt. George Bernard Shaw told us, people are always blaming their circumstances for what they are. I don't believe in circumstances. The people who get on in this world are people who get up and look for the circumstances they want. If they can't find them, make them. When you change, so does your outer world. Outer reform is useless unless the inner state is not changed. Excuse me. Outer reform, let me say the whole quote. When you change, so does your outer world. Outer reform is useless if the inner state is not changed. Neville Goddard. Think about your goal and get your goal. Think about nothing and become nothing. Reap what you sow. What seed have you sown and will you plant in your mind? Whatever you plant will bear fruit. You will become fruitful and bear more of the same, as fruit holds the seed to create millions of the same fruit. Although the fruit is inevitable, it is vital to focus on the work, not the fruit of our labor. The Bhagavad Gita, written 5,000 years ago, lets us know that we have a right only to our labor, not the fruits of our labor. And it is dictated on the battlefield of war. When we are on the mission, we are at war only with ourselves, even though it seems the world is against us at times. When we feel that pressure, we are most likely on the right path. When we feel like everything is so easy, we are most likely not on the mission we are destined for. It has been said that pressure turns coal into diamonds. We are all on an acre of diamonds, which is a great work of art that tells a story of how we search the whole world and often neglect the prize that is within and not without. Even death does not deny or stop purpose and meaning for the dedicated warrior. In the movie Greater, a story of the legendary Brandon Bullsworth, hard work rewarded Brandon with many awards and achievements which nothing, even death, cannot take away. The real reward and glory is in the work and dedication that still leads thousands, which is an understated number of people, on a path to greatness. We live in an abundant world, and therefore you live in abundance. What is abundant in your life? Realize now that you have created all of that abundance. When you take full-hearted responsibility for this abundance, you will then know and have the master key. We all have been told this, yet only a few remember and believe. We forget with the blanket of life and perception. This is the reason why people get rich or are poor. Some will think this is not true or a lie, an exaggeration or a scam, and they will stay broke, sick, tired, or at best stay where they are for the rest of their life. Argue your limitations, and sure enough, they're yours, said Richard Bach in the book Illusions. You can listen to the ones who argue for their limitations and say that circumstance creates the person, or to this message now. It is your choice. When you listen long enough and enough times, you will heed to the message, whichever you choose. Your limitation is your imagination. You become what you think about. Seek and ye shall find. You probably need to read and listen to this book thousands of times, if not more, to really and sincerely receive. There is a huge difference between listening and heeding to a message. To heed is to take action upon. That is why this will be as concise as possible of a story of your success or your failure, your riches or your poverty, your health or your demise, a story of your belief or your lies. Be living or be lying. There is no competition. There is only creation. Whether you believe it or not, you are right. Henry Ford. You are the captain of the ship. Every little turn in direction navigates you to an entirely different trajectory. So, do not take your hands off the wheel, or else you will go in the direction that another energy force will take you. One little ripple can turn the tides if you take your hands off the wheel. The investment in a compass is worth every penny, and an expensive GPS is even better. You will not regret the cost for a moment when the storm hits and your vision is clouded by life itself. Even if others criticize you for spending, you will know the difference of an investment and realize if it's a bet, you are worth all the chips, because at that moment when the waves are high, you realize that money is an illusion. Yet the dream, the journey, and the destination are real. Happy sailing. AUDIOfit.com. Please remember another magical 5 words to activate your soul, purpose, mind, and body. Faith without works is dead. AUDIOfit.com. Check us out to live the best life ever possible. AUDIOfit.com.